Ever been told that a six-pack is a wild fantasy unless you have top 1% genetics? Or you're ready to embrace that gym bro lifestyle, practically making the gym your second home?
I started to sleep at the gym so I can get my first pump in right away.
Let's bust that myth wide open and dive into the real journey of transformation. Beyond the excuses,
you will probably never have a six-pack.
And the special supplements.
Coming is. So I'm coming day and night.
And it's about more than just abs. It's about discovering what you're truly capable of.
Regular folks getting ripped. Please, if you weren't born with it or you're not juicing, you're just wasting your time, bro. It's all in the genes. Or the syringe.
So, you think six-packs are reserved for the genetically blessed, or those taking shortcuts with steroids? Unfortunately, you're not alone, as 4 million Americans use anabolic steroids every single year. But time for a reality check. Over 90% of my client transformations come from regular folks just like you and me. Normal guys that decided to challenge that status quo. And yes, growing up, I was seriously overweight, and I lacked what you'd call any athletic genes. So, this idea that only a special chosen few can have a six-pack is just that. It's a myth. It seriously underestimates what we can do with a bit of determination and know-how on what your body needs. People like to demonize getting lean.
And get shredded with a stupid six-pack.
Yes, it's important to be comfortable in your skin, whatever your body fat percentage may be. But chasing a six-pack isn't about conforming to these external pressures or unrealistic ideals. It can be a journey that boosts personal growth, self-confidence, and understanding your body's true potential. So let's not downplay the aspirations of those striving for more. I mean, sure, reaching significant milestones like 10% body fat is tough, and there's a certain comfort in being told 20% body fat, that's fine.
And they think the six-pack is the goal. It's a terrible goal. I talk anyone out of it that was trying to get one.
Let's shift away from that pervasive culture of dragging everyone down, a trend that's notably common in the UK where I'm from.
Mental benefits. The only mental thing here is not focusing on maxing out your bench press every day.
The real magic happens not just in the transformation of your physique, but of your mindset and your overall life approach. Consider the words of Seneca. It's not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. This quote resonates deeply with the essence of our journey towards a six-pack, reminding us that path to achieving daunting goals starts with the courage to pursue them consistently. So from that mental marathon to the pitfalls ahead, let's tackle these 7 common mistakes, starting with that fear of unsustainable dieting. Ever feel like every diet is just a ticking time bomb before you go on your next eating spree? You're not alone. It feels like everyone is just saying diets are temporary fixes, right? Like you're always doomed to end up back where you started. But hang on, that's not the full picture. I've been in that spot too, staring at yet another meal of plain chicken and daydreaming about this slice of pizza. But guess what? There's a different path. It's about strategic eating and mixing the foods you love with the nutrients that you need. You know, sticking to chicken, broccoli, and rice like a gym bro can get old real quick. But let's be real. Opting to run an if it fits your macros plan and including Pop-Tarts and hot dogs in your meal plan every day, that's not the way either. What we're aiming for is a diet that's balanced and flexible. Something you can actually enjoy and stick with for the long haul. This six-pack journey is about finding that balance of enjoying what you eat and loving what you see in the mirror. Now, let's talk muscle and how keeping it through the cut isn't just possible, it's a game changer. So you're thinking if you start cutting down the fat, you might have to say goodbye to your muscles as well, right? That's a story that a lot of people believe. Well, that's a big myth. But here's the thing, losing fat and not losing muscle isn't some sort of magic trick. Just by simply keeping up with your weights and eating enough protein, you're not just dropping the unwanted fat, you're sculpting the body you've been after. And believe it or not, you can end up even stronger. Now, about this idea that going for a lean look is bad for your health. Heading for that 10% body fat, but you're kind of freaked out about what it might do to your health or your hormones. You hear those horror stories, low testosterone, body dysmorphia. Makes you wonder if it's even worth aiming for, right? But let's get real for a second. Is getting lean really as scary as they make it out to be? Here's the deal. Getting to that sweet spot of 10% body fat isn't about extreme measures or pushing yourself to the very brink. It's more about taking a smart, balanced approach. It's knowing about when to push hard and when to take a breather. And let's talk recovery. Recovery is not lounging on the sofa. sofa. It's about helping our body rebuild stronger. Think good sleep, staying hydrated, and some stretching to keep things moving smoothly. Nutrition is huge too for recovery. We're not just slashing calories here. It's about feeding your body the right mix of micros and macros. So you're not just dropping weight, you're keeping your hormones happy too. As we tackle these common mistakes, remember, knowledge is your ultimate workout partner. So hit subscribe to stay in the loop and keep your fitness journey on track. Worried that chasing a lean physique means you've got to kiss your social life goodbye? You're not alone there. Seems like there's this old tale floating around that getting fit means you can't have any fun, that you've got to say no to every dinner invite or night out. Sound familiar? I've been right there with you, standing awkwardly trying to figure out what can I eat without derailing my goals, while everyone else just dives into the feast. But here's what I found out. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can totally have your cake and eat it too. Well, maybe not literally cake all the time, but it's all about finding that sweet spot. Like, why not suggest an active hangout every now and then? A hike? A casual bike ride, or even a fun run can be a bit of a blast with friends. And when it comes to food, it's about making smarter choices without feeling like you're missing out. Just choosing the grilled meat option over the fried, or the baked potato over the fries. But also not sweating if you indulge a bit here and there. And you know what else helps? Hanging out with folks that get it too. They're on a health and fitness journey too, so they understand this hustle. It's not about ditching your old friends, but maybe expanding your circle to include some that can share your goals and support you, and vice versa. I know there's still that nagging fear of failure lurking in the background, wondering if you can really pull this off. How about we tackle that head on next? Ever hit that wall where you think that getting lean is just not on the cards for you? Like there's this giant scary monster just lurking, whispering that
You're not going to make it.
yet it feels like every other story you hear is about somebody reaching their goals and not even breaking a sweat. It makes you think, are you really meant for this? Doesn't it? I've been right there in that dark place, full of doubt and just questioning every choice. But here's what turned it all around for me. Just breaking it down into smaller, more achievable goals. It's like instead of staring up at this massive mountain and thinking, no way, you start looking for the path that gradually gets you to the top. And changing how you view setbacks is huge. They're not the end of the world. They're just detours, maybe even shortcuts to getting stronger. Because here's the thing, bouncing back from those setbacks, that's where the real growth happens. It's not about never falling down. It's about how many times are you willing to get back up. That's the real secret sauce to progress. Now, speaking of progress, let's tackle something a little bit more nuanced. How do we keep pushing without it crossing over into obsession? Ever wonder when your healthy fitness goals start looking more like an obsession? It's a bit like walking a tightrope, really. That push to meet your fitness targets can seem so intense. It feels like you're just a step away from tipping over into this becoming an obsession. And it's not just you, a lot of us feel this way. I've been there too, counting every calorie, stressing over the scale to go down to that last ounce. It hits you hard when you realize what's happening. But here's what I learned. Your body, it's talking to you all the time. It tells you what you need if you're willing to listen. And taking care of your mind. It's just as crucial as taking care of your body. Finding real joy in your fitness journey, that's the key. This whole process, it should be about making your life better, not boxing it in with endless rules and restrictions. And that brings us to our final point. Can we chase these physical goals without sacrificing our mental well-being? Spoiler, absolutely. Chasing that lean look but wondering what it's doing to your headspace. You're definitely not alone in that fight. Seems like everywhere you look, there's this big dark cloud over the idea of fitness goals and getting lean, saying you have to trade your mental well-being just for getting a lean body. But let me tell you, that is not the full picture. It's no walk in the park, and there's this constant back and forth, trying to keep up with your body goals without losing your mind sometimes. But here's the thing, it is possible to strike a balance. Mindfulness is not just this buzzword, it is a game changer. Taking time to rest, like really rest, and surrounding yourself with people that get it and support you. That's the foundation of staying healthy, both up here and here. This whole fitness journey, it's not just about shedding pounds and gaining muscle. It's about discovering how resilient, strong, and downright amazing you can be. And it's about believing in yourself through the ups and the downs. The six-pack, it's merely a symbol of the incredible journey that you've undertaken. A journey of transformation inside and out. You're not just leaner. It's about building a foundation of discipline, understanding, and resilience. And that, my friend, is the most profound transformation of all. For more coaching tips, check out my video here.